Hello. So I decided to look through my camera roll today, and upon doing that, I realized I have so many games. I have way too many games recorded that I haven't been doing anything with. Like I just recorded a bunch of them for, videos, but I never actually posted any of them. So I'm gonna try to post more of them. We're gonna have to see if I actually commit to that because I think everyone that watches me knows what I'm like at this point with uploading. But this is another one of those. I would say it's more map pressury than like chase because when I was rewatching it just kind of felt like a messy game. But yeah, so first off, seeing this team comp, they all have flywheel. That's a little intimidating. Does the mime artist actually have full kite? Wow. I don't think I realized that in the actual match until now, but I got pretty lucky because I kind of committed to whoever spawned near Shack, and it was a mechanic, but I don't think I actually ended up chasing her. Yeah, because I think what I've learned from facing Mime Artist is I feel like if you utilize her well, she can be really good, but I feel like she's kind of risky, especially into Dream Witch. So when I saw her kind of over here, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chase the Mime Artist. Why not? I don't think I faced many of them, and I think at the most I faced like 5 with badges for her while I was playing. So there was obviously that to take into account, but she did kind of just take a free hit at the start, and then the cowboy is already here for the harass. What I learned while ranking is that spamming patroller is the best way of life, even though it is kind of clunky, especially on the followers because it's just slower and not as convenient as the main body one, but I've gotten back into it. But here I tried to kind of set up her leech to get a hit. Unfortunately, he has flywheel, so he does dodge the hit and kite out the patroller, which I'm okay with at this point. I was pretty confident that their ciphers are behind just because the cowboy was here and then the mechanic would have been getting bothered by her leech. So I felt like it was fine, even if I did want to get a hit on the cowboy earlier than this. He does thankfully miss his lasso, so he's unable to rescue. And then I was also kind of bothering the mechanic with her leech, just kind of leaving it at her cipher, so she can't really decode it. And then the Finn just fearlessly rescues here, which, is fine. And then this is something I don't think is the best idea to do. If a survivor is like actively deleeching, like in your face, and you have the option to like injure them or down them, I think that is fine. That is what you should be doing, because if you don't hit them or get, if you don't get something from that leech, you're just gonna remove it anyway. But the mechanic did not have a witch mark, so I don't think I should have hit her. Then here with the patroller, I do trait swap to blink. I don't think it was super necessary in hindsight, but I think I was just concerned for her being able to rebound kite me, because, she had 2 of her umbrellas left. And then with the cowboy, I was also like, I'd rather just have blink for his harass. I'm pretty sure I saw him when I was moving her leech away, so I did just go ahead and leech him. And then I'm just gonna try to cut him off. This is kind of like, I guess, the hindsight where I was like, maybe I should have just stayed on patroller, because I very easily could have patrolled him and basically stopped him from getting this rescue altogether. So yeah, I don't think the blink switch was the best idea. And I also could have blink downed him here. I don't know why I was just standing at the chair, but he does take a hit for her. And then the mime artist is mime artisting. So I just go ahead and share the cowboy, because I was like, they're gonna have to meet up and heal if they want to get this rescue. So I kind of felt okay with doing that. Then I think at this point I was kind of just waiting for my blink to be up. I wanted to just blink down the mime artist, and I did try to push one of my leeches out of range at the cowboy's chair so I could go and pursue her again. I'm just kind of camping in middle with my main body in a way to kind of see, where I can hopefully stop them from rescuing this cowboy. And then I'm really pro and I missed my blink, but it's fine, I get the hit anyway. And then I think at this point, I was kind of like, I was pretty confident that my spawn follower did not have enough time to make it over to the mime artist before she self-healed. I did not realize that she had a full kite, so because of that, I didn't realize that her healing speed would be slower since she has no sticker. But I do manage to down the cowboy. He like barely didn't make that window vault. So I'm just cheering him. And then I'm just checking on the Finn's leech. I'm pretty sure I've just recently started doing a lot more of just sending the follower out of their range to automatically chase them when they're constantly moving. But then I saw this cipher shaking and I realized it was the mechanic's bot, so I'm just sending my main body of my spawn over to get rid of it. And now she has no item. So I took note of this cipher because it obviously had a decent amount of progress and you don't really want, to let them pop it. And then I was just kind of considering chasing the mechanic here, but I didn't really want to chase her since it's like getting a hit on her would be good, but chasing the other two would be better since they're already injured. But I do leech her and I put her leech kind of close to Shaq. And because the Finn flywheeled and I knew he still had his abilities, I decided to just blink him. And again, I'm just looking at ciphers. I see the mime artist would be over on that cipher, and then I get so greedy. If you watched my last video where I was talking about how I keep getting greedy and keep trying to push what I'm doing while cheering, nothing has changed. I feel like I maybe would have made it if my follower didn't get stuck on that barrel ? But anyway, the mime artist flywheeled. That was a scam. That was just me being bad. But she goes down anyway in the end. So it's fine. She's dead on chair. But yeah, my greed sickens me. I don't know what my issue is lately. I've just been so insanely greedy for no reason. And then again, I'm just looking at ciphers. I see that cipher shaking, so I send my spawn away and I go to the mechanic. I think she actually forces this cipher pop. I'm pretty sure. I was kind of thinking that she wouldn't be able to pop it because the Finn was injured. But since she popped it, I remembered that this cipher over here and the one near front gate had a decent amount of progress. I didn't want them to finish the final cipher, but I check over here, I say I have no tinnitus, so I know he's this cipher instead, so I just make my way over. I just leave the mechanic's leech, she can de-leech and get bothered by it, it's fine. But yeah, I make it over here to him, and then he does lose this mind game, unfortunately for him. And then I'm just cheering him because I know that cipher has a decent amount of progress. Like, I'm not gonna get risky and start slugging when they have decent, cipher progress, because it's just not worth it. I think she tried to blink predict that flywheel, but did not have blink on that follower, so now I'm just leaving the Finch chair. This is like my favorite thing to do when I have someone on chair. I'm greedy in many ways. And one of those ways is that I will happily leave the chair to pressure someone else, or in this case, get a 4K. I don't believe in playing it safe. I believe in getting a 4K because I want that extra single rank point. I could have been a little bit more patient here, though the game's already over, so I guess it's fine. But yeah, that is the game. It's not that interesting, but I feel like some of the games I have saved, even though they're not super, impressive, and it's sometimes just the survivors messing up, it's also me messing up. And I feel like that's a good thing to post for helping you guys learn what not to do. But yeah.